Hey guys, you're watching Daniel and Gian talk, and today we are going to do a full review of the 2016 feature film Udta Punjab, starring Shahid Kapoor, Alia Bhatt, Kareena Kapoor. It's a pretty star-studded cast. It was an interesting film. It was definitely, I definitely enjoyed a lot of it. There were some parts where I had some slight issues with it, but it was dark. It was definitely. It was darker than the trailer led it to be.
It's a better movie than the trailer.
Yeah, for sure.
It's definitely one of those don't judge a book by its cover, because
Right.
I wasn't blown away by the trailer. But yeah, for the most part, I feel like it lost its way kind of in that second act, like in the middle of the second act. And then it kind of found itself again at the end. But
Well, the biggest problem with it was just tonally, it shifted and it didn't recover. Like, it was just inconsistent tonally. Like, every time Tommy's on screen, it's kind of funny. It's like humorous moments, but then it goes into these super, super dark moments. Then you have this like weird like 5-minute romance thing that shows up and then quickly disappears as well. Like
what romance?
It's between the cop and Kareena Kapoor at the, like they're starting to fall.
Oh, that romance. I thought you were talking about Tommy. I was like, what? I don't
mean,
remember him.
Yeah,
in a
well, he
romance.
falls
No,
in
no,
love with
I
Alia.
get, no, yeah.
Yeah, it was just like
he doesn't fall in love, but he sees something in her. But I know what you're saying.
Right, but it was pretty consistent, and then it started to slowly start going more serious, dark, and then all of a sudden it would shoot up and do funny stuff and shoot down, and then it just, for me, that's where it started. It was definitely in the second half of the film, and it was just that one, I want to say, in between the second and third act, where
right in that second half of the second act.
and like it got real, like just I felt like I was watching 4 different movies.
At the same time, it still didn't. I feel like it never
didn't
went
kill
into
it.
trope. It never went into like over the top.
No,
like
not-
even the romance stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't
like
complete.
it didn't go full tilt. Okay, now they're gonna
Right.
have sex.
And
do
arguably
all-
it had a payoff with what happens to her.
Right. So to me, it still wasn't like. There's definitely things that didn't need to necessarily, like, I didn't necessarily care about.
Yeah.
I didn't need to see Tommy's arc of him, like, but it like you said, it kind of all factors in. So that's the story he wanted to tell. So who am I to really judge that structure? It's just, but let's just stick positive. I think, what about it did you like? For me, the darkness I enjoyed, and I was like hoping that it kept it the whole time, like this whole consistent thing, because there was just a lot of twists and turns I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
The beginning starts off with the heroin getting thrown across the border. Wasn't expecting that.
Right.
And then she finds it. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then
I
liked her trying to sell it.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, oh, 3,000 for like 3 grams or whatever, and he's like, no, kilos. And then she like, I loved one of my favorite scenes is when she calls the guy who deals in that high quantity, and then
The guy
like,
who she stole it from.
Right. She's like 3,000, and then he's like, he didn't say anything, and then she's like, hold on, and she goes and pulls out a pen and paper so she can do the math longhand, and then she realizes like, oh shit,
This is 10 million.
whatever currency, I don't know what it was.
Yeah, no, it was, and it kind of showed where her education level was at as well, and just
Which was
her
a whole thing
status.
too, because she was a national hockey player, as we learned, and she somehow ended up on these fields because.
Yeah, her parents died.
Well, no, I know, but I'm saying like that didn't give her enough money or anything.
Right, exactly.
security.
She was just looking for a way to get out of these fields. Obviously, it just kind of
She did.
and she did. Ended up getting raped repeatedly.
That's what was intense.
Yeah,
for me.
I wasn't expecting that at all. Like, I thought they were going to kill her, but then I was like, they're not going to kill her. But I didn't think it was going to be like, oh,
I thought they were gonna kill her. It would have been better if they killed her.
Well, I thought
for her
yeah,
character.
yeah. Well, the reason why I knew they were going to kill her is because she was
Big.
she's
Big
so
star.
prominently featured. They're like, you know what? We're not going to kill you. We're just going to turn you into our hopped up fucking sex
She
slave.
got addicted to heroin too.
Yeah, like
And I want to talk about that because they actually kind of made that seem plausible.
the one thing they didn't address with her is she quits and we never see
She
her.
goes cold turkey.
We never see her getting dope sick. Like everybody, that's the one thing. Like you're trying
a
to.
little bit, but you don't actually sit in the room with her like you do with the cop's brother.
Right,
where
exactly.
They lock him in the room, which actually is a good treatment for it.
Yeah.
It can cause you to kill yourself and kill other people, I guess, but gold. It's tough. It's a big thing. I have family who have dealt with heroin addiction, and The only way they beat it is because they went to prison, and
Cold turkey in there.
well, they had to want it.
Yeah.
Because you can still get it in prison if you want it.
Right.
He just wanted that change.
Well, I think if you go to prison, and you're addicted like that, they like keep you away.
It was dark. I think that's the main takeaway.
It was definitely,
if anyone's out there has an easy stomach,
dark.
I'd probably avoid this one.
I mean, that climax scene
where she stabs him 80 times.
I
for
mean,
5
Jesus
minutes straight.
Christ! Like,
I actually really liked that.
I wasn't expecting any of that. Like the way it went down, like it was brutal. And then homeboy shoots dude in the face. You know, the ending just knew it was great. No, that was my favorite part of the movie actually, like the ending, because I was expecting it to take the easy way out, and it did not.
I don't know what the easy way would have been.
Wait for the cops to get there. Like I wasn't expecting so many people to die.
The cops are already there.
Well, he was the cop, and there was another cop, but like whoever, like I don't know.
No one was gonna come. I loved how it fucking let you know that these people were corrupt from jump.
Right.
The cops were no one to be trusted. You know, that's what I like the political commentary almost more than the story itself. My questions are immediately like, how accurate is this in Punjab? I'm not assuming if I go to Punjab it's just going to be heroin everywhere, but obviously this has to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
If you have people this movie got almost banned. The Indian censor board made it do like 86 cuts, and then basically Amir Khan and all these filmmakers came on board and said, no, this is ridiculous, because what the censor board wanted is all references to Punjab cut. Right. They didn't want this to be and I get it, because right now as an outsider, I'm like, oh shit. I'm not afraid. Like I said, I don't think it's that bad where you go in there, and maybe it is, but let me know in the comments.
Well, it's not quite Mexico, because if it was, they wouldn't have kept referring to fucking Mexico in the film.
Which was also interesting to hear about, because Mexico's so close to us.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, because in the trailer they kept referring to Mexico.
Yeah.
Now there's complete context. What do you think about that?
I think that's them knowing that there's a problem there, and they're like, we don't want this thing to get so out of hand that we turn into like this big, and we didn't see any rival drug dealers or whatnot, but they're saying like
the cops are the cartel in fucking Punjab according to the movie, so they're already Mexico.
Right.
Like Mexico, the cops are corrupt as fuck. It's just the cartel.
But they work for the cartels.
That's what I'm saying.
Difference.
It's the inverse. It's just inverted.
Right.
It's not. It's the same shit's going on.
I mean, I would have liked to see. I mean, it would have been a completely different movie, but now I want to see like who's transporting these drugs in, and who's in charge of that operation. Now, obviously, we see the guy throwing people. Yeah, and I know, like in Afghanistan, because there's a lot of poppy seeds in Afghanistan, and Pakistan's right next to Afghanistan. That's where most of the heroin from the world comes from.
What I did enjoy about Tommy's character, I enjoyed when he goes to prison when they fucking arrest him for nothing, just so he could be a puppet, a fall guy, and then he's in his
that's
own.
Kind of I want to know if that's just like a statement on the lack of free speech in the country. Because it's the only reason they had to arrest him was because of his lyrics and him inciting stuff.
See, I don't agree with that. I think the cops knew that he was a total cokehead. Right. Because of the manager. Because there's a scene where like the manager and the main cop are together.
Yeah.
Doing something, I forget. And obviously they must all know. They all know each other.
Yeah, but
he's a big guy.
And they use him as a
drug
scapegoat.
Problem, so we got to eradicate the drug problem. But what I enjoyed about it is when they took him to prison, he was in his own cell and he was complaining, I want water, I want this. And then they take him out of there, the good guy, and put him in with the rest of the bad guys. And at first I'm like, oh shit, it's about to go down. Like Pretty Boy over here is actually in real prison.
Oh, no,
and then there's
two kids.
Those two kids start singing, and then you start to feel like, oh, okay, like maybe he has more credibility than he's okay. He's gonna be fine. And then the fucking old guy's like, shut your fucking mouth. I don't know why you guys shouldn't talk. You guys fucking killed your mom. And then they go and explain their story about how, she wasn't giving us money. What else were we supposed to do?
Wasn't supporting their dope fiend habit.
And that was the first time his lyrics hit home to him. And I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Because I always think about that for big artists. I'm not saying like rap stars or anything, but just in general. Like, what do you actually think your lyrics do to these people when you're talking about all these things? Like how... Because sometimes they're involved in the world.
Well, there's also the argument as well. Is like, do those lyrics act? It's the same thing as video games.
It goes both ways.
Do video game violence really?
Of course not.
In
my opinion.
Yeah, and you're gonna.
But I do think you can be addicted to video games, and I do think you can fuck your life over with them without a shadow of a doubt.
Right, but that's not the argument. The argument is that the violence in video games makes you go out and shoot people. So do the violence in the lyrics or the lifestyle he talks about in the lyrics make people go out and do these things?
If you're in Florida playing Madden, apparently it does. But
that guy's had CTE or something.
He was retarded.
Yeah.
That's what he was.
Yeah.
I mean, but let's not pretend that. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you don't get video game rage, but when I was younger, playing like sports games,
absolutely, definitely throw controllers and get pissed, start fights with your friends.
Brandon is the definition of that.
Yeah.
Like
rage quit.
Just not rage quitting, but just fucking raging in general. Like it's hilarious. Like if I ever did a side YouTube channel, I would just film him fucking playing video games.
Maybe he should be better at video games.
He's actually pretty good. He just gets, I don't know. Anyway, it's fucking funny. So that was really impactful to me personally, just because it was interesting.
Right.
Oh, back to the cuts. The only thing that ended up cutting, because they eliminated those 86 cuts, they didn't have to do them.
Right.
Was him peeing on the crowd.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what he did. He peed on the crowd. Like,
I
I guess it was more graphic. I thought he jerked off on him.
It seemed like he was jerking off.
If I didn't read before, I thought he jerked off on him.
I think that might be worse.
If he jerked off on him?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he pissed on him. That was the whole thing.
Right.
So, and that's the only thing that cut out of the whole movie. On a production level, I like the editing. There's a lot of match cutting throughout, which is interesting. A lot of, multiple shots within one frame. So I wonder if they borrowed that from, obviously you can pull it from anywhere, but I wonder if they took that from Requiem for a Dream, because they did that a lot in that movie. And that was a huge heroin movie.
I think
where they have those split screens.
Yeah, and I definitely see an influence. The one that stuck out for me more than anything was when she gets high, after she
falls into
falls into the water, and like that. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure I saw that in Requiem for a Dream. It's the first thing I thought of, like.
And that's not a bad thing.
And that's fine. That's fine.
Especially when you're dealing. If you haven't seen that movie and you liked Udta Punjab, I highly recommend it. Also extremely depressing.
I like this one better than Requiem.
I
for a
agree
Dream,
with
for
you,
sure.
because
really
Requiem was way too fucking depressing.
Yeah.
And just sad, and it's just too. It was like way too dark, and there's no levity.
Yeah.
Like there's no comedy. There's no Tommy, like some guy that you're gonna.
No, every time you think something's gonna happen, it gets worse.
That's
basically.
literally what it is.
But not in a cool way. Like, it's not one of my favorite movies, to be honest with you.
I think I've only seen it once, and
that says a lot.
Yeah, it's a tough movie to get through, but it is what it is.
Some people, film school kids.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. It's just not for me. I love fucking the director. I love Darren. I think he's great. You like The Wrestler, so
That's
not like
pretty much The Wrestler.
But I like Noah. I mean, anyway, I like his work. Pi is a very good movie. Resolution, I put that I didn't like the resolution. It wasn't the best. I didn't care for the love stories we already mentioned. I didn't care that she died. I mean, did she really have to die out of everything? Is that the only way you could have possibly...
I mean, there was definitely some shock value there for sure. And I think it does work. It works in the context that that was the culmination.
But were they really going to build this big case?
Well, they did. They did. And all because everybody fucking died at the
end.
At the end, it just.
I don't know. It felt too like
who knows if he tries to kill all these people.
Like, how did the other girl end up in Goa?
Oh, because Tommy's money paid for her to go to Goa.
Oh, I didn't see.
She talks to Tommy on the phone at the end.
Well, see, I just figured Tommy's career was done anyway. So
no, he was in prison.
I didn't put one and one together.
He was in prison serving his, and they're like taking care of her until he gets out, because like he.
How do you like her performance? She gets a lot of shit on our comments, like saying she's overrated and stuff.
I don't know.
She's one of India's highest paid actresses.
I think she did.
I thought she was
great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'd watch another movie.
Yeah. No, I thought she was.
It makes me
want
to watch that spy movie even more. I forget what it's called.
Yeah.
The 1971.
Doesn't
movie.
look as young in this one as she does in that spy movie.
Well, yeah, but still, I mean, she's young nonetheless.
Yeah.
I don't think she's my age or close to my age.
Well, but in the spy movie, she looked like she was 12. I was like,
no, I know.
Weird. But
she looked young too, though. If the movie said she was 16, I would have believed it.
Maybe. I don't know. No, she did a great job. I thought all the acting was pretty good. The only one I would question is Shahid Kapoor, and he was,
He did his character.
Yeah, he did play a character.
But he also.
And I like the way he came out, like the way the movie opens, or right after the fucking heroin discus throw.
And he's just all fucking crazy.
Where he just comes out and starts to show. I thought he did a great job of like going nuts singing.
I agree. No, I think I just think he has the weakest arc out of all of them.
Yeah.
Like once he sees those
Well,
kids,
he was a comedic relief. That was the problem. Like,
yeah,
for a
and
big
it's
part
like,
of
would
the
he?
film.
Would this guy really go out and do all this?
Yeah.
You know,
It
I
just,
don't know.
It was the least grounded story of all the characters. You know, like him, like, oh, I met this girl in an alley. Now I'm gonna go and save her from a bunch of.
She saved him.
The first time, yeah, and then the second, yeah, she
Arguably
did.
the second
She did
time,
most of
too.
the saving, yeah, but he went to go and rescue her. But the thing is, like that storyline is not as plausible when in a film that's so grounded everywhere else. You know, if I'm gonna, the one thing, and you brought it up about the drug addiction thing, that's the one thing where I took a little pause. Like I felt like it was a little, it might be
Too much.
That was a little too much. It at times
Like too many people are
it
addicted
felt,
to it.
It felt more like a like politicized, like to the drugs are ruining the whole country. This is what they look like. It looked like people that don't do drugs take on what people that do drugs.
Well, that's what That's
like.
why I'm curious to know how it
Yeah.
actually is there, because we don't know.
I'm not.
Because it didn't even look like they were taking drugs to get high. It just
Yeah.
looked like they're taking drugs to get through the day.
Right.
Like,
Right.
I'm working in the field
and
all
the guy,
fucking day.
And the guy
I wanna
says
come
that.
home.
The guy says that the land's dry, the kids are doped up, Punjab is done. Like, why are you trying to save it? Like he says that when they're.
Why can't the people out there just smoke weed?
You know. Maybe it's hard to come by, man. Who knows?
Fucking what a place to live if weed is harder to come by
You
than
know.
fucking heroin.
Who knows?
I don't know. It
Yeah.
was cool though overall. You
Well,
know,
let's-
cinematography was cool. I'd watch another movie by this director,
Yeah.
Definitely for sure. He definitely can handle the story of this.
I mean, it
magnitude.
definitely fits the Phantom films for sure. Like it's definitely part of that family.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. But anyways, let's get a rating.
It was an 8 for me. I had a solid time. Wasn't bored by it by any moment. For every time I thought I might roll my eyes, I ended up not rolling my eyes. You know, there was a lot of things that this movie could have been derailed, and I feel like it stayed on.
It was consistent. I'm gonna give it like a weird rating. I'm gonna give it an 8.3. You know, it's almost 8.5, not quite there. Little B minus, B. You know, on the borderline right there. It was a good film. I would definitely check out more of this guy's work to see what it's all about. But I was impressed. Definitely, it's.
Especially that first half. That first half.
Get rid of that little montage song. The only time they have a song in the whole fucking film.
There's like 2 or 3 songs throughout the whole thing.
But
just him singing. But they were supposed to be.
There,
songs.
his performance. This one was the one. You know,
But even then, it didn't really.
It wasn't
bother
the
me.
worst, but
I just feel like
yeah.
if the movie was the first half, if the first half movie would have completed itself as opposed to like becoming something else,
Yeah.
it would have probably. Been
And like I
even
said, I think
higher.
it had to do with the tonal shift. Like it became tonally inconsistent after that point, where it was kind of.
That's a problem
Yeah.
sometimes with writing. When you think of these great scenarios, it's like, okay, well, how the fuck am I going to tie this all together?
Yeah.
And there's only one logical conclusion to take the characters in, and this might have been it, and that means maybe the premise could have been reworked or whatever.
It
But
also,
overall, it's,
you know, and we don't know what the writer's process was, but it also could have been the whole like, I got all these great scenes and I don't want to get rid of them, kind of thing. So I'm going to throw them together and try to make them work.
apparently the original version was
Yeah.
242 minutes, and it got trimmed down to
That's a lot.
140.
Yeah, that's 100 minutes of who knows. I don't need.
According to Wikipedia,
Yeah.
I have yet to see this like anywhere because they said, but
I mean, I wouldn't put it past them.
I would watch it though.
Yeah.
I'd watch a 3-hour
but-
version, 4-hour
yeah.
version.
Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this on YouTube Premiere. One of us, or hopefully both of us, are going to be in the chat room with you. We're in the chat room with you this whole time. Make sure to smash that like button, leave comments, let us know what you think, and we will see you next time.